What is the best socially unacceptable piece of advice? Put yourself first. Most people you go out of your way for won't do the same for you. Flattery works on everyone. The trick is to figure out what flavor of flattery suits each person. Sometimes it's simply agreeing with someone's opinions. Sometimes it's being flirtatious. Sometimes it's making a show of being subordinate. Sometimes it's directly including someone in jokes. Sometimes it's asking questions or for advice. Sometimes it's just noticing someone. Flattery works on everyone. It's best not to admit that openly. But if you're doing it right, people can know your plan and still not be able to stop you. Because they won't want to. My favorite. Follow the small rules and you can break the big ones. 1984. Money might not buy happiness, but it makes your life a hell of a lot easier. Sometimes it's best to entirely cut yourself off from toxic people. Sure, you can forgive them, but you gotta watch out for yourself. Edit. Whoa. This blew up. I guess it's not as socially unacceptable as I thought it was. As to why I think so, I don't want to reveal too much about myself. But I've been guilt tripped a lot for not putting up with people's bullshit and too much of the time. I've gone along for the sake of harmony. There's a lot of calls in our society to forgive and make up, and I do understand the need for that. However, you soon realize that only you can stand up for yourself. So what do I consider toxic? Obviously, if someone is intentionally harming you in any sort of way, then that is definitely toxic. When someone lies about you to make you look bad in front of mutual friends, then that is toxic. When you lie awake at night, seething in anger because this person put your career in danger, then it is toxic. I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with me, and I am open to change. I do have residual anger from these experiences, even though I forgave then cut off contact. Family should not get a free pass because they're family. Family isn't everything. Don't take advice from an AskReddit thread. The only people who post here are lonely, emotionally stunted racists and sexists. No one's born special. The world owes you nothing. Most people don't achieve their dreams. Do the best you can. A guy I used to live above, he was homeless for years as a teenager. He used to score pot off of me, told me once that no matter how bad things get, you have two choices. Kill yourself or continue living. Every bad situation boiled down to that decision. In his opinion. Fake it until you make it. You might not be the most successful, the coolest, the most put together, etc. It doesn't matter. If people think that you are, they will gravitate towards you naturally. People often ask me how I look so young for my age. They usually guess about 10 years under. The thing I don't usually tell them is, it's cuz don't have kids. People don't like that answer. Always fact check your professors. Half-truths get passed on by teachers more than anything else. Also, there is no such thing as non-biased journalism. Relationships are transactional. Build up goodwill with many small things so people will help you when it comes to the big things. Beautiful people are more loved. Work on being attractive because it makes life easier. You may not be wrong, but there's no reward for being dead and right. Learn to defend yourself and not look like a target. Also, if someone fits a criminal stereotype, it pays to avoid them. Those stereotypes exist for a reason. The only person whose happiness is important is your own. Living for others' validation is unfulfilling. So put yourself first. Edit. Holy shit. I was honestly expecting to be buried. Thanks for the gold. Get rid of friends that bring constant negativity into your life. There are so many positive people out there that are much more deserving of your life. Along that same line, try your best to be a positive influence in others' lives. Your friendship will be cherished. Make yourself happy before you try to help others with their unhappiness. It may seem selfish, but if you sacrifice so much of yourself for others, you'll run yourself dry and help no one. Practice and get good at Irish exits. Public service announcement. Remember to sort by controversial to actually get the socially unacceptable shit. Looks determine who comes together. Character determines who stays together. So if you're aiming for the short run, you better shape up. Use advantages to the most. If you find a flaw in a system, find a way to exploit it. Often the best way to get a job isn't through working hard, getting a good education, and being tireless. It's having a friend who already works at the company. If your kid is being picked on, don't tell them to ignore the bully. Tell them to sweep the f-king leg then drop the elbow. It's the only proven bully repellent. You will be exponentially happier and achieve more in life if you are ruthless about removing any and all toxic, shitty, negative and or unnecessarily critical people from your life and inner circle, even if they are close family. Most people scoff at being so heartless as to completely cut someone out so quickly and completely, citing someone's other good qualities, bad run in life, personality, familial ties or personal difficulties, excusing them for their jerk behavior that ultimately takes value from your life. Edit. Changed the word for clarity. If you find yourself facing an unavoidable crash with a pedestrian, speed up. It's cheaper to pay for a funeral than 10 years of medical care. My grandfather, former driving instructor. Don't tell your problems to anyone. 80% of people don't care and 20% of people are glad you have them. Sorry folks. Edit. I'd like to add a more positive note to this on the topic of problems which won't be socially unacceptable but may be more helpful to people. It's a story told by a Buddhist monk called Ajahn Brahm and it's called Who Ordered This Pile of Dung, which will be poorly retold by me. You return home one day and there's a huge pile of shit in front of your home. There's two things about this dung. You didn't order it but it is yours. You can't give it to anyone else and the truck that brought it has gone. You can't return it. You've got two options. You can firstly carry around the dung. It'll be heavy as hell, a real burden, and when you're around others they will smell it and will no longer want to hang out with you. Or option 2, you can use it to fertilize your garden and in the months to come you'll have the most luscious trees and most beautiful flowers. Choose option 2. Learn and grow from your problems. It's okay to be angry at people who've wronged you. It's okay to want revenge. It's okay to feel all sorts of negative emotions that you're told you're not supposed to. Sometimes acting on those is bad for you. And sometimes hanging on to something unreasonably long doesn't make sense. But you're not f***ing obliged to forgive people or to feel bad for being angry or upset. Note: this isn't really direct personal experience as much as it is observation. So don't jump to conclusions, Reddit. You don't exist as an individual. There are no such things as rights. You don't deserve anything. If you don't figure out a way to manipulate the system while still being a part of it, the world will do with you what white blood cells do to bacterial infections. Play the game. Make people like you. Be attractive. Everyone wants to be told what to do. Because making decisions and being held accountable for them is hard. Do everyone a favor. Be a leader. And never ask permission. Because power is never given. It's taken. Pay no attention to the professional perpetually offended crowd. Race baiters. And stupid idiots who have a victim mentality who scream racism at any opportunity even where there is none. Get an abortion if you are not in the most prepared situation to have a child that you can possibly be in. No one wins if you both struggle for the rest of your lives. The HR staff is not there to help you. They are there to help the company. If some whom you love, and who loves you, says tell me the truth, tell the truth. If anybody else says it, it's probably in your best interest to lie. The court-appointed therapist is not your friend. When working around machines, never put your hands where you wouldn't put your dick. You do not owe your parents for bringing you into this world and raising you. That is their job as parents. To house you, love you, keep you warm, fed and reasonably comfortable and happy. If your parents are shitty, abusive, or otherwise awful people, you are allowed to cut them out of your life and feel okay with that. Don't ever feel you owe them anything simply and only because they're your parents. Edit. I feel like everyone replying is deliberately not seeing the part about this relating to abusive parents. 4 guys. If you're looking for a life partner that you would like to be monogamous with, choose someone with a low to non-existent partner count, 0-2. When you're ill, ring into work and try and act ill. It's unacceptable because of how ridiculous and unnecessary it is. Being severely unattractive is a hugely detrimental factor toward interpersonal success. You can still get massive amounts of shit done alone, though. Now, bring on the downvotes. Edit. I'm a lurker. I assure you. I sincerely thought I would be heavily downvoted. Also, I would like to add that unattractiveness certainly includes personality. You don't have to survive being alone forever. You just need to survive being alone tonight. Yeah. Bit depressing. Quickest way to become rich is to act poor. Quickest way to become poor is to act rich. You are responsible for your actions. Act that way. You don't owe anyone love or respect. Not even your family. Parents, brothers, sisters and cousins can all be assholes too. If someone you're related to is a terrible person doing damage to you and others around him, cut his ass loose. Always make her CM first. The only thing better than sex is more sex. And if you make her CM first, she will want to FCK you more. Edit. Not just more this time. Frequently in the future. Don't waste your time complaining about things you can't change and change the things you can. Why is this socially unacceptable? It pisses people off if you call them out. Most people are content to complain about their life instead of fix it. In a professional legal setting, especially when trying to get a job, never volunteer any information that might cause them pause or review. If asked directly, tell the truth, but otherwise don't say anything. Try to think of all the ways your parents may have been stupid pieces of shit and to overcome the damage it did to you. Complain and make demands. For every time you don't stand up for yourself or your family, there is someone who will do it for their own and they will get their problems resolved and you won't. Those that get the most have the loudest mouths and zero shame. The fastest way to get people to agree with you is to give them credentials. Even if they don't mean shit. Give a post with 1 upvote gold and watch it soar to heights unimagined. Edit. Thanks for gold, stranger. Now the rest of you upvote me. Get angry about the little things for 2 reasons. There's a better chance you can change them. And big things are just bunches of little things. Infatuation fades and eventually your wonderful relationship will be like everyone else's. Pick the best mate and work your ass off at making your relationship good. Compromise when you can. Explain yourself in every argument. And realize that some relationships don't have a good enough foundation to last. I feel like society makes getting absolutely hammered attractive, but it is not. Hangovers are awful. Try and drink slowly and enjoy your drink and get some water so you don't get a nasty headache. You can enjoy alcohol. Just don't go overboard. Ignorance is bliss. Or in other words, be dumb and you'll be happier for it. Context. I keep myself well informed with news, documentaries, history lessons, etc. about all sorts of issues. From humanitarian to environmental to politics to pop culture. I make the choice to not stay ignorant about the world around me, even when it doesn't affect me. And you know what? It doesn't make me happy. At all. I wish I didn't know that SeaWorld treats their animals like shit. I wish I didn't know that chocolate bars are a product of child slavery in West Africa. I wish I didn't know how gays were treated in Russia. I wish I didn't know what life is like for veterans returning home. I wish I didn't know how seriously we are f***ing up the planet with our pollution. I wish I didn't know about the extent of human suckage. What's the point of informing yourself about the misery of others if you can't do anything about it? Just stay stupid. You only have so many fucks to give before you run out. So ration that shit. To get people to like you, simply make them feel important. Even if you don't think they are. Everyone likes to feel important, and in turn everyone will like you. That it only takes a second to show someone how you truly feel about them. The police call it an incident of exposure. But they get the message. Never do. Say or write anything you don't expect someone to find out about. Pee anywhere. No sense in being uncomfortable when there's a whole world to pee on. Yes. Voting is usually kind of pointless. But you masturbate all the time, and that's just as pointless, except you don't get a sticker that says I masturbated today every time you choke one out. Now do you? Be blonde with blue eyes. Fair skin. Just above average height. Perfect physique. Symmetrical face. Highly intelligent. Living in America. Athletic. Upper class and well educated with a high paying job. You'll do great. If you're mentally healthy, try hallucinogens. I would suggest MDMA first. Mushrooms a few months later. And finish it off with a few hits of LSD. Hypothetically. Lose some fking weight. Almost everything in your life will be better. If you are in better shape. But to some people, even suggesting a better physical lifestyle is considered body shaming. I have one piece of advice I routinely hand out. It is the only advice I intend to really drive home for my kids. Should I ever have any. I consider it socially unacceptable to say because the language is a bit crass, but necessary to the message. In my opinion. Don't be a dick. Seriously. That's it. Life is so much easier if you're just not a dick. All those times where you have the nagging thought, I don't know if I should say this. It's a bit dickish. Double quote. Just don't do it. It's never worth it to be a dick. It might make you feel good in the short term. But who knows what the repercussions might be later on. Dickishness begets dickishness. Don't be a dick. Seriously, that's it. Life is so much easier if you're just not a dick. All those times where you have the nagging thought, I don't know if I should say this, it's a bit dickish. Just don't do it. It's never worth it to be a dick. It might make you feel good in the short term, but who knows what the repercussions might be later on. Dickishness begets dickishness. Control your thoughts. Monitor when you're thinking negatively and work consciously to rid the thought and replace it with one of a happy or positive thought, gratitude, faith, love, etc. Close bracket. Don't piss off people with authority over you. But never trust they have your best interests at heart. I love my friends and family. It doesn't necessarily follow that I always like them. Everyone acts a jerk now and then. The world is not fair. It just is. Don't go around expecting people, the universe or God to do anything for you. The world doesn't care. It's indifferent. Go towards your goals with all your energies. In the end, you are the only person who you spend all day with. Worry about your own opinions of yourself and your choices and not on anyone else's. Talent is overrated. Practice and persistence are keys to being great at something. So don't tell someone that he is gifted if he is a great artist. He might have binged tea but practiced a lifetime. For the same reason, don't say you'll never learn to play the guitar. You just need to practice. A lot.